Oh man, Jerome Powell just delivered a speech. Will he be cutting interest rates as Donald Trump has asked him? Yes, Donald Trump did come out earlier today, has asked Jerome Powell to cut interest rates in the face of his tariff announcements. Will we get this interest rate cut? Bitcoin here holding up fairly okay, 83.5. Traditional markets getting absolutely thumped, but we need to cover off exactly what Jerome Powell has just said in his latest speech. Now, before we do that, let's jump on over to Truth Social, where we know Trump likes to give his announcements. And I want to take you over to this. 2 hours ago, knowing that the Jerome Powell speech was coming up, he said the following: "This would be a perfect time for Fed Chairman Jerome Powell to cut interest rates. He is always late, but he could now change his image, and quickly. Energy prices are down, interest rates are down, inflation is down, even eggs are down 69%, and jobs are up. All within 2 months. A big win for America. Cut interest rates, Jerome, and stop playing politics." Trump is obviously not one to mince his words. And look, to a certain extent, he's right. What I take from this message is that Trump already by this point got the jobs data. Right? If you jump on over to the jobs data, which came out a couple of hours ago, 228,000 new non-farm payrolls created versus around 100 to 110 expected. So this labor market is healthy. If you look at the unemployment rate as well, it's pretty healthy, guys. I mean, if I just refresh that on the unemployment rate, that came in at 4.2%. It's pretty healthy, okay? It's not bad. It's not in the high 5%. The labor market is healthy. And from Jerome Powell's perspective, he'll be sitting there going, why should I cut? Why should I cut? Remember, like I said in my video yesterday, Jerome Powell will be in no rush to cut, right? The Fed, if you study the Fed over time, always cut late. They're always reactive. They're not proactive. Now, incidentally, Trump is the one playing politics here, right? Trump wants a helping hand from Jerome Powell. He's come out with the world's craziest ever tariff plan. He's put widespread, nonsensical tariffs on most of the world. And now he's sitting here going, Jerome Powell, can you help me domestically at least? Can you at least put some money back in people's pockets so that when they realize that what I've done has now led to painful inflation, they won't give me such a hard time? Because so far, all I've done is dump the stock market. Now I'm going to create more inflation. It's not going to be a good look for the start of my administration, right? So that's where we stand right here. This makes complete sense why Donald Trump will be all over Jerome Powell. From Jerome Powell's stance, his mandate is very simple. Let's not try to conflate things here. Hold up. Do you want to learn how to trade? Then you need to jump into our Telegram community. Link is in the description. In our Telegram community, I share my altcoins. I share how I do my trade setups, how I do my stop losses and take profit, so you could learn to become a profitable trader. Check it out. Link is in the description. His mandate is simple. He's kept it the same before Trump was in power, and it's the same as it is today. And that's what he addressed in his speech, was that simply inflation needs to come back to the 2% target and employment needs to be balanced, right? And if at the moment he's got a healthy employment market, inflation is still high, what reason does he really have, apart from to pump our bags, and I'd love for him to cut, what reason does he really have to cut? He doesn't have one. And so if we jump on over to the Jerome Powell speech, the main takeaway is that he said, look, there's a rocky path ahead. The tariffs aren't good. We face a high uncertain outlook with elevated risks of both higher unemployment and higher inflation, he said at his event in Washington, D.C. Now, this is important, right? He's been doing this job of trying to bring inflation down to this kind of 2% Fed baseline level, and now we face uncertainty. Look at this. While tariffs are highly likely to generate at least temporary rise in inflation, it is also possible that the effects could be more persistent. I mean, this is crazy. If you got Jerome Powell telling you that the inflation is going to be persistent, it's going to be persistent. Remember, this is the same Jerome Powell that during COVID told us inflation was transitory, which we're still fighting in 2025. Right? So, if you've got this Fed official telling you that this inflation could be persistent, I mean, to say he's downplaying it would be the wrong words to use, right? He's definitely underpinning this. And that's, something we're going to have to contend with, is inflation could be here to stay. And Trump's policy play here could be hugely detrimental for the markets, okay? Now, Jerome Powell has not decided to do an emergency cut. I don't think he will do an emergency cut, like I said in yesterday's video. Let's take a refresh of what the markets think. You can see here 26% of the market are now pricing in that he will go ahead and get pressurized into his first cut by the next FOMC scheduled meeting on May the 7th, okay? So we'll continue to monitor this percentage. And look, the market's in free fall, right? You're not noticing it here on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's having a flat day here today. But let me just walk you over to the pain that is the traditional market, which is a bloodbath. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Down 5% on the S&P yesterday, down another 5% today. 10% in 2 days is a complete market rout. Let's just go on to some of the big boys here. Tesla falling 10% today. Painful, painful. Coinbase, the stock is falling close to 8%. I mean, it's just pain. Apple, 6%. I mean, Apple fell 9% yesterday. It's taking another 6% with it today, getting absolutely wrecked. I mean, Amazon even. I mean, these are big companies, guys. Yesterday, 9% down, kind of some of the dip buying happening on Amazon today, which is interesting. I mean, it's just painful. Just painful out there. Microsoft, 2 red days as well. What else have we got here that's getting wrecked? Even gold is down today. I mean, no place to hide, right? No place to hide. Google's in the red 2 days in a row as well. But broadly speaking, this market is painful. I mean, if you look at the NASDAQ here, 5.5% yesterday down. Today, close to 5.5% down again. I mean, this is bad. I mean, I'm in the market quite regularly. This is not a good market. That being said, Bitcoin priced it in on the Wednesday, right? Took a 3% hit as Trump was speaking and announcing his tariffs. Yesterday, grinded out a 0.8% green day. Today, flat on the day. Who knows? 6 hours left before this candle closes. I mean, it's holding up okay. Seems to be a nice little bit of a safe haven when you compare it to the fact that the traditional markets, right? Your safe places to be. I mean, look at this. The Dow Jones is down 4.5% today. This is your safe stuff, guys. This is your blue chips, your agriculture, your banks, your infrastructure play. It's down 4.5%. Painful. I mean, if this is not a huge Hail Mary from Trump, I don't know what it is. Huge risk he's taking. Whether it pays off or not, we are yet to know. China obviously did go ahead and whack a reciprocal tariff on the reciprocal tariff. It's getting really hard to keep track of all this stuff. But the reality is we spoke about the numbers yesterday, right? If you've not watched my videos from yesterday, get caught up on those. The painful thing here is the Trump numbers on the tariffs are just made up. They're just arbitrary. It's not the tariffs being placed on them. It's not, it's not reciprocal at all. I mean, this is all just a political marketing stunt. China's, obviously, if you click here, has gone and put a 34% retaliatory tariff on. Let's take a look at this. China urges the United States to immediately cancel its unilateral tariff measures and resolve trade differences through consultation in an equal, respectful, and mutually beneficial manner. Okay, it further criticized Washington's decision to impose a 34% additional reciprocal levies on China, bringing total U.S. tariffs against China to 54%. It's called it inconsistent with international trade rules and seriously undermining Chinese interests, global economic development, and the stability and production of supply chain, according to a report from Chinese state news outlet. So, safe to say Europe is not happy. Safe to say Australia will not be happy. Safe to say China is definitely not happy. I mean, and this is the problem here for the US. They're sitting with the whole world against them right now in a battle which seems very, very difficult to win. And you can already see from Trump's comments today where he's saying, look, if anybody wants to come to the table and discuss, he's already open to discussions, right? And if that's the meaning behind all of this, then fine. Let him play that game. Hopefully, countries come and sit down and we have something sensible and we can keep things moving. Ultimately, that's what we need right now. We just need this market to fix this tariff issue, put it in the rearview mirror so that we can move on. From a crypto perspective, I'm not worried too much. If we get a pullback, I'm more than happy to buy the dip. But you're seeing the relative strength in the market, right? I still think we'll get a pullback. I think it's difficult for Bitcoin to just hold such strong, anti-trend when rest of the markets are fleeing and panicking and rotating into cash. I think it's inevitable people will rotate it into stable coins as well on the crypto front, and that could lead to some lower prices. If we head to 72 to 74, I maintain that I'm going to buy the dip. Other than that, there's not much for me to do. I mean, at some point, we will get a Jerome Powell rate cut, but probably by the time he cuts rates, it's going to be too late. And that's the thing, right? When Jerome Powell cuts rates and panics, that's probably going to be the bottom, right? That's going to be a nice indicator to buy the dip on some of these pullbacks, because Jerome Powell will only come out and cut rates once we've hit the iceberg, right? If this is the Titanic hitting the iceberg, Jerome Powell's not going to be proactive. No, when the proverbial has hit the fan, when things are messed up and the numbers are showing that it's messed up and well messed up, only then will he cut. If he was to cut now in an emergency after this tariff stuff, like Trump was saying, that would be proactive. It would be doing Trump a huge favor, and maybe they don't want to do Trump a favor, but it would be proactive at least, right? But the way we're going to go about it, you won't see that from the Fed. Very, very, very unlikely the Fed will come out with an emergency cut to save grace, save Trump's face, and allow the markets to recover. Even though we're down 10% in 2 days on the US stock market, we're talking trillions wiped out. It's painful time to be in the markets. But again, these painful moments are when it pays to be in the market. So that's what Jerome Powell said, guys. Saying it's going to be a rocky, uncertain period could cause more inflation, could cause more unemployment as well. And maybe the word we've not used right now is stagflation. Maybe we enter a recessionary period with low growth, high inflation, which could be really, really painful for the average person. Hopefully you found this video useful. If you like this type of content, smash up the likes. Do not forget to subscribe. If you actively want to trade with me, ijazcrypto.com/TG. I want to see as many of you guys as possible coming and trading with the community. Learn how to actively trade and profit from the markets. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.